Hey guys, so I'm Lick Moyle, and today I'll be talking about me trying out Zbrush and sculpting and adding details for sort of the first time that I've ever tried Zbrush. I pretty much just used the standard brush to create these these wrinkles in the clothing, and that's pretty much all I really found I had to add for the main armor, the main body. So I didn't really spend too much time actually doing this part. I pretty quickly moved on to actually sculpting the head, and I did use a lot of tutorials for this stuff. Getting the face shape and using the different tools and where to pull and prod and everything, I thought was going to be easy, but after playing around sort of outside of this video for a couple of minutes, I realized that I really had to follow someone else's tutorial because there are just too many brushes to learn how to use and too many hotkeys and everything. So doing this, I pretty much just used a lot of the move tool to pull out the chin, and once I sort of got the general face shape that I wanted, I started using the standard brush to create the general face shapes, like the cheeks and the chin, the cheekbones and the how sharp the jaw is. With the mouth, I pretty much just used the damn standard brush. So it initially, when you select the damn standard brush, when you click and drag on it, it just creates a indentation on the mesh, and then but if you hold the Alt key, and then do it, it creates the opposite of an indentation, makes like a pretty sharp ridge, and then using that ridge, I can come back in with the standard brush to fatten out the areas in between, and that's how I sort of made my lips. And then I just went around using the damn standard brush to make wrinkles and divots here and there to try and get the face shape that I wanted. I ended up making a much angrier looking older man than what I was going for, so I started to widen out the eyes and the face and soften it all a little bit to try and make it look a little bit younger. Eventually, I started having trouble trying to figure out how to do the eyes, and I found a pretty good tutorial. I'll be linking any tutorials that I used for the making of this model in the description, or in the documentation for this video when I'm talking to people, my teachers. But I used a lot of masking for the first time for this part. I duplicated, after I put the orb, or the sphere in the eye socket, I masked off the upper and lower parts of the eye to make, as you can see here, the eyelids, and then I just moved. Then I had the eye in between, and I pretty much used a separate tutorial for each proper body part. For the face sculpting, for the mouth, for the nose, for the ears, and all of the. I was very surprised with how succinct and quick a lot of these other artists were with this stuff. Obviously, they've been doing it a lot longer than I had, but they're very good at describing what they did, and they did a lot better than I am doing. As you can see now, I moved on to the hair after the individual face parts. I started off with just general shapes, and then started using the move tool to sort of pinch and pull out shapes, but it really was just not working how I wanted, and it looked really messy and bad, and it just was not turning out how I wanted it to. So I did end up trying instead, as you can see here, I used a tool called the tube snap tool, and if you go into stroke, you can change the thickness of the tube. So I made it a little bit thicker at the start, the thickest in the middle, and then very thin at the end, and that made this sort of the shapes you're sort of seeing that make up the hair here. And to get them thicker and everything, I just changed the draw size tool to make bigger strokes, and once you've done that, you can sort of select each point of the hair, but I found if I just selected the end point, I could drag it and move it around, and it was just like a little snake that still stuck to the head, but I could flick the hair out to make it in the shape that I wanted. Unfortunately, I didn't record me making it because I'm a giant idiot, but ZBrush has a really good history tool, where as you can see, I'm dragging this bar back and forth, and it's showing how I placed every individual piece of hair, and then grabbed the ends and twisted them and moved them around. But I did stick all of these onto a sort of head plate, to try and keep the basic shape of the head. And then sort of after all of that, I literally just exported it back into out as an STL or an OBJ, I think, and then I just went into Maya, plopped the head in, and then I just stuck it straight onto the body and essentially merged and cleaned it up a little bit to get sort of my final design for the character. From here, I really just went on and did well, I mean, you'll see what I did in the next video. I went on to making my base and the how to rig it and animate it and everything, which is very simple. You really don't need to be a professional because I hate rigging with a passion, but there's a quick and easy way, and I will show you that in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. I know it was very quick, and I know it didn't really show much information, but I'm hoping to disseminate the videos that I watched to help inform you guys like I was informed, because those videos were just so important to me learning how to use the tools and everything. So yeah, I definitely recommend going into the description and watching those videos. Thank you for listening to my video and seeing what I had made. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day. Alright, bye bye.